Hello guys, in our previous lesson we discussed getting started with HTML. Today we are going to discuss the basics of HTML. Yes, getting started with HTML, we scratched the surface of HTML, how HTML code looks like, and so on and so forth like that. Today we are going to dive deeper into the basics, some basics of HTML. So now, what are the things you have to do to get yourself familiar with if you want to write codes in HTML? So now, I will start with what is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Yes, I won't emphasize more on that because we have explained that in our previous videos. So now we move on with an HTML element is defined by a starting tag, some content, and an end tag. It is a starting tag, it is the tag name, followed by some content, and ended by the end tag. So element is everything from the start to the end tag. So from here, from the start to the end tag is what we refer to as elements. So we have lists of HTML elements which we are going to demystify one by one. So the HTML tag. So every HTML code is inside the words HTML tag. This is HTML open tag while the HTML ends with HTML close tag. So that's the root element. This tag referred to as root element. So every HTML code will be within this HTML tag. So that's the root element. So followed by the head tag, the head element. So the page informations goes within the head element. And mind you, I've been repeating this. In the head, any content within the head won't be visible to the browser. It won't be shown by the browser. So we have the head element, the document head, that is, it explains or gives several informations about the web page to the search engine for optimization. We also have page title. So the page title will be inside the head tag. So the page title goes within the title tag. So this is a title, this is the starting of the title tag, and this is the head, and that's the end of the title tag. It is at open and closing tags. There are some HTML element that does not have closing tag, but the title is not one of them. The title tag has open tag and close tag. So HTML, so whenever you're writing HTML code deals with tags. You open the tags, then if the tag has a closing tag, the content will be within, then you use the close tag. So that's that on page title. We also have body tag, the body tag. These are the HTML basics you need to master, you need to know. So now the body, every other thing that will be visible to the web browser that user will be able to see as a web page will be within the body tag. This is the body tag, followed by content. All the page content from the header to the footer will be within the body tag. So that is that. So now let's move on to the heading. Yes. Inside the heading, the first element is the heading. Inside the body tag, sorry, the first element is the heading, is the header. Yes. Inside the header, we have heading. You can have heading, or heading is also a separate HTML element. You can use it in any part of your web page structure. We have the heading starting from H1 to H5. Yes, this is H1. We also have H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. We also have paragraphs. Paragraph starts with P tag. Yes, I've explained these in the previous video, and I would like to talk more about it. Paragraph as is denoted as P, the P tag. Start it with P tag, then some content within the paragraph, then closing tag, which is the P. So now move on to the multimedia tags. Now I've explained more about this. When you are dealing with HTML, you also have multimedia tags. These are tags or elements that displays multimedia on your web page, starting from multimedia or static files such as images, videos, audio, iframe, and so on and so forth. So we have image elements. This is image element. The image start the image element with image src, which is the source. Then the source will be pointed to the file name, which is the logo.jpg, and the class, which is class is equal to image. And sometimes we have alt, but I think I've explained that in the previous video. We also have video elements. Yeah, if you want to include a video in your web page, you start with video tag, the video tag, then the source src, which is movie.mp4, that is the file name. The file name will be within the source, and the type, that is the extension or the format of the video. Is it in mp4, or we have different kind of formats in when specifying video. This is mp4. You are specifying the video type as mp4. That is, you are telling us that the video is in mp4 format. So now we move on to the audio element. So audio controls what? The audio controls, this is the starting of the audio tag, then the source. The source is telling us the file name. This is the audio.mp3. The type is audio/mp3. That's the type of the file, which is the mp3. It's telling us that it's mp3, that is the audio file. Then you close the audio tag with then you close the audio with audio tags. Yes, closing the audio tag, sorry. So now we are moving on to iframe elements. Iframe element is also part of multimedia elements. What is iframe? Iframe element is used to embed another web document or another document within the current page. You want to embed an element or a document within a page. Maybe you have a certain web page that you want to embed inside another web page. You use iframe. Most of the time, you want to embed your YouTube video. Yes, there are some that has the YouTube channel, and they want to embed that YouTube channel. You want to embed the particular video on your website. You are going to use iframe elements. Or you want to embed a PDF. On a website. You use iframe elements. So these are the functions of iframe. These are the essence of iframe elements. So the iframe element starts you want to start the tag. You start iframe iframe. We start with iframe tag, then the source. You have the source on the same file as the HTML file. You specify the file name, then the extension .html. Then to embed another document within the current HTML document, then you close the iframe tag, e.g. a page within a page. So that's that on iframe. We talk more about iframe when we move on to the HTML. When we talk more about the HTML elements. So HTML element is also subcategorized into two. We have semantic and non-semantic. Semantic elements are elements that clearly describes its meaning to both browser and HTML. Describe the meaning to the browser and HTML programmer. So that's that on the semantic element. So semantic element, that is to tell us that whenever you see semantic element, you know what that semantic element, you know what that element means. It will describe the tags will describe what the element is doing or what the element means to the browser and what to a programmer. So it is used to define different parts of a web page. That's semantic elements. So header, as you can see, this is header. You know what the header means. So that is logically, that's telling you that, oh, this header is doing what? Is a tag used to specify a header of a page. So logically, this will tell you that this header would specify the header section of the page. That's the essence of semantic element. Footer as well will tell you that, oh, this is footer, that is, this one is located towards the end part of your web page, specifying what? The footer section of the page. We also have article. Yes, the article, the name itself, or the tag name itself has explained what the tag means. That is, the article does what? It has some set of content which explains what? Certain things or certain concepts. We also have aside section. Can you see now? The thing is, the common thing in semantic elements is they have explained what the tag is doing or what the tag is all about. We also have navigation bars. We also have navs. Also, these navs does what? It contains navigation links whereby you can click on any links to get yourself redirected to certain part of your web page. You also have section. Yes, if you want to, if you section divide the section in a document or in a page. A web page could normally split into two sections, into sections or introduction, content, and contact information. Sorry, I couldn't focus more on when I was explaining, I couldn't focus more on the comments. And the comments, I set the comments aside there to explain some certain things. So the header here, it contains elements such as logo, nav bar, hyperlinks, and so on. So that's the essence of the header. It contains elements such as starting from logo to nav bar to hyperlinks and so on. The footer as well, it contains elements such as forms. When you're dealing with newsletter, have forms, have hyperlinks, you have sitemap, you have copyright, and so on. Inside the footer, you also have article tag, specify independent self-contained elements, such as form, such as post, such as blog post, username, paragraphs, and so on and so forth. So now I think I've explained the aspects. So now let's move on to the examples of semantic elements. Semantic elements, I have specified some examples starting from header to footer to article to aside to nav to section. Another example, some examples of semantic elements. We have tables, HTML tables. So tables allow developer to arrange code in rows and column. We explain more about tables as time goes on. We also have table header, we have table rows, we have table cells, we have table cells, table header, and so on and so forth. These are the elements used in tables. Whenever you are using table in HTML, you start with table tag. See table tag. So everything inside the table, every table element will be within the table tags. So now we have table rows. Each table row starts with tr and end with tr. So the table row, whenever you are specifying a table row, use tr tag. Then we have table header. You know, as we have header of a web page, we also have table header which describe the which gives some certain or short description of the table, which is the table header th. That is, that part will be what would be bold compared to other table elements or table cells. We also have TD, which denotes table cells. So we also have form. Form is another example of semantic elements. Form, yes, form gives users opportunity to input their informations or certain thing into the web page. So forms makes web page interactive. Form also is also a form, is also a means of collecting user data and informations. It's also a means of what? Of collecting their informations, data, and opinion. What do I mean by opinion here? Let's look at the comment section of a page. Let's say a Facebook as an example. Whenever you are inputting your opinion or you want to comment on a post, using so this in these things is called, these things is possible with what we call form tag. Yes, in Facebook, whenever you want to submit a comment or you want to post, you are using text area form. So now form element goes inside the form tags. So when you're starting a form, you start with form tags, open tag, then the close tag. Within the open and the close tag, the form element will be inside the form open and close tag. So form element goes inside the form tags. So now the first one is, we have different kind of form elements, which I'm going to explain. So as time goes on, we'll explain further, but I'm just going to pick some elements used in form. So we have input elements. The most used form element to collect data. Yes, we have input element. That's the most common one. Input. We want to specify input. Input element does not have close tag. Please let's note that doesn't have any close tag. So you specify with input type is equal to text, that is type. We have different kind of type. Type can be in email, text, password, file, checkboxes, submit, and so on. So this input one is input type text. You want to input your name, the name of the form. The name is equal to username. Then you close it. If the name is the first name, you write the first name, or the name is the last name, so you write it there. So then the text area, another one is text area. If you want to collect, if you want, you are dealing with longer text. Let's say a text message or comment. That's longer text. This input type, the maximum uh, characters that would be in input type is mostly 50 to 60 upward, mostly 50 to 60, 70. But text area, you can have like 500 characters, have like 1000 characters, depends on what, on the specification. So the text area, your messages goes here. Most of the time, whenever you're using what's it called? All these social media out there, see something like this, your messages go here or your comment goes here. So most of the time they use text area form. Yes, text area elements to gather or to collect all these inputs like comments, messages, and so on. So text area, your messages go here. So text area is also a form element to collect long text. You also have lists. So that's that on form. We explain more about form in a broader sense as time goes on. We also have list. Yes, list is also a semantic element. We have ordered list and unordered list. Most of us we are familiar with bullets when working with documents format software such as Microsoft Word. We use bullets, bulletin points, and so on. So all those things. So bullets is an example of unordered lists. So you list some certain elements using bullets. If it's circle bullets, if it is square bullets, all those things. It's also done with HTML as well. We also have ordered lists. When you want to list some elements and you want to give it some sort of numbering, such as numeric numbering, alphabetic, or Roman numbering. So all these things you use what we call ordered list. On ordered list, if you are using bullets, yes, you list some element using bulletin points. Ordered list, if you want to use numbering, you explain more in details. So ordered list, and you use the list item. This is what we call list item. This is what we call these are list items. That is the items within the list. And the list is categorized under two. We have ordered list, which is numbering, unordered list, which is bulletin points. All these things, just note it down. And we also have divination. So divination is also ordered, is also on it's also within the category of lists. When you want to define some set of items, use definition list, description list. Sorry, description list. You have description list. we have description, definition, description, and we have definition term. This definition term, this definition description. So this definition term, this definition description, definition term, and this definition list. Everything will be inside definition what? List. As we have ordered list and unordered list, we have definition list. We want to define some set of item. Everything will be inside definition list. So definition term is the word you want to define, which is the, let's say this one is milk. Definition description is the description of the words. So that is that on semantic item. So now let's move on to non-semantic elements. Non-semantic elements are tags that doesn't provide information about the content they enclose. They are mostly used for layout and styling. Yes. A block container for flow content, an inline container for phrasing content. This one is a block container div. It's mostly used for what? It's mostly used as container for block elements. You also have span, which is inline element, a inline container for phrasing content. We will explain more about that in this tutorial. So the span, we have span and we have div. So these two things, they are non-semantic elements. So now formatting element, they are elements used for formatting. So this in this tutorial, we are trying to tell us the basics. What are the things? Once you are familiar with all these things, you have mastered 70 to 80% of HTML. Once you are familiar with all those things, because these are what you are going to come across when dealing with HTML. So formatting elements, whenever you want to format elements, what do I mean by formatting? When you are using Microsoft Word or all these elements used for typing and editing, such as Microsoft Word, Stazu, WordPad, Notepad. You come across all these things. There are sometimes you like to bold an element. There are sometimes you like to give it italics. There are sometimes you have to make it small. There are sometimes you have to make it bigger. There are sometimes you have to attach a, what's it called? You attach a base to a number, that is sub and superscript, subscript and superscript. Maybe you want to write a false position. All these things is also done in HTML using formatting elements. If you want to make your element bold, this is bold. This is B tags. The B tag. Let me, for an example now, I want to make a paragraph bold. I'll just use B tag. I will enclose everything with B tag. Then I will now start my paragraph. Starting my paragraph, then the content here. The content goes within the paragraph. The content go within the paragraph. So this content will be very bold compared to other HTML elements, because I've enclosed the content with B tag. That's the essence of B tag. If I want to make it italics, I will start the content with I, then I will enclose it with I, P tag, that is the paragraph tags, then some certain content, then I will close the P tag. I will close the P tag. So that's that on italics. Also, as well, small tag to make this our text small. We also have sub. You just enclose the element which you want to apply all these formats to. You enclose it with the formatting tag. You also have subscript and superscript. Your subscripts to attach the base of another element. For example, base 2. You want to write base 2. This element, look at the comment section here. Look at this comment section here. Subscript here. We are applying base 2 to this element 1101 base 2. What you have to do is write the P. Let's say the element is in P, is inside the P tag, that is paragraph tag 1101. Then you use sub 2. That is the element that you want to apply the subscript 2, which is 2. You want to apply the subscript 2 to 1101. You start, after writing the element, you open the sub and you write 2, then you close the sub. That will be in base 2. And whenever you want to use superscript, let's say you want to write a position. You want to write a position first, second, this is the code, or you want to make exponential, this is the code. Write 64, then the superscript, which is 3, sub 3, then you close the superscript. So that's that. If you want to write a first position here, as an example, let's say first, this is first. Then after that first, you use the superscript element, which is sup, then you close it. Then after writing that sub, you write th, which is the position, then you close it. So that is that on subscript and superscript. So can you see that? So now let's move on to citation. Quotation and citation is also part of it. Quotation and citation elements. Whenever you want to write a block quote, some set of quotes, let's say all these kind of quotes like life is like a bicycle, also all those things, like all these are about esteem quotes, all these William Shakespeare quotes, and so on and so forth. Whenever you want to write a quote, we also have a tag used in HTML. Block quotes. This is block quotes. Then inside the block quotes, you have your quotes. That is, define a section that is quoted from another source. Then you close it with block quotes tag. So that is that. We also have short quotation, abbreviation tags. Whenever you want to abbreviate short quotation, that such as WHO, World Health Organization, you start with abbreviation tag. Let's say everything is in P element paragraph tag. So start with abbreviation ABBR, then the title of the abbreviation, World Health Organization, WHO. Then you close the abbreviation. Then you close everything with P tags. So that is that on abbreviation. So this is a title, abbreviation title, the World Health Organization, the word abbreviated WHO. So that's that. Citation. We also have cites. Want to cite, you want to make citation on a creative work. Define the title of a creative work, e.g., poem, song, movie, sculpture, and so on. This is the usefulness of citation tag. So you start with cite, then you end it. The citation goes within, then you end it with cite closing tag. So now the last one which we are going to discuss is inline and block elements. We are going to finish this class with inline and block elements. HTML can also be categorized under inlines and block elements. What is block elements? Block elements are elements that stacks vertically and always starts on a new line. Yes, no matter what, when you define a block element, irrespective of the way you write the codes, it will be stacked vertically, and automatically the element will start on a new line on its own. So we have example of block elements starting from articles. This is article tag. We also have div. Whenever you are specifying a vertical element, you use div. We also have form. We have form tags. We have field sets. This field is within the form tag, but all the elements are stacked vertically. We also have nav element, which is the vertical element, which is block element. We also have tables. Tables is also a block element. We also have section. Section is a block element. We have video. We have footer. We have horizontal. HR. Yes, this HR. HR is a vertical element, which is block element. HR here it does not have a closing tag. Let's look at it very well. HR means horizontal line. It doesn't have closing tag. There are some element that doesn't have what's it called, closing tag. An example is image. Image does not have any closing tag. Input is also a form element that doesn't have closing tag. HR as well does not have closing tag. We have no scripts. No script is also a block element. Block element, no scripts, HR, they are block element. That is, they stack vertically. We have list. ordered list, which is OL, unordered list, which is bulletin, and you also